Hi guys, welcome back to part 4 of my Columbine series here. I do apologize for posting this a little later in the day than I usually do, but hadn't really been feeling that well today, so I've just been resting on the couch, just being blah, but I figured it's Saturday, I gotta get this video up, so I'm gonna go ahead and just push through it anyway. So, where I left off was that everyone in the library had just run out of the emergency exit, and we all hid behind the nearest cop car, and I'll go and pick up from there. We all ran behind the nearest cop car, and I was one of the ones closest to the cop car, and everyone's just yelling information at the police officer. I kept yelling them. One was named Red. One was named Red because I'd heard one of them yelling, calling the other one Red, although I later learned that I misheard that it was actually Reb, but that's beside the point. Anyway, we're all yelling this information, and the girl who'd been next to me in the library, the one who got shot in the shoulder, I see someone else helping her out, holding a piece of cloth to her shoulder, and she's just saying that I'm not gonna make it, I'm not gonna make it, I've lost too much blood, and I was too far away from her to be able to really say anything to contradict her. But anyway, we're all there behind the cop car, and there's this one boy to my left here. He'd already given his shirt to help another kid stop the bleeding, and he had this bullet hole above his wound above his right knee, but other than that, he was okay. And there's this other boy over to my right. He's wearing this plaid shirt. He was laying on the ground. He wasn't really moving that much, and I gave him my hand, told him to squeeze it if he could hear me. He kept squeezing my hand. I kept telling him, squeeze my hand, squeeze my hand. And we're all just hiding behind this cop car, just wondering, just staying still pretty much. And at one point, somebody yelled, "There's somebody on the roof!" And everyone freaked out and jumped. Everyone squeezed together behind the cop car as tight as they could. And of course, I'm one of the ones closest to the cop car, so everyone's pretty much on top of me at that point. But I didn't really care. I didn't want to be seen either, in case there was another shooter on the roof. And meanwhile, while everyone's cowering behind the cop car, thinking there's somebody on the roof, I'm just trying to think of something else, anything else, just distract myself, like concentrating on the heat of the sun on my back because it was a nice day out. So I was just trying to just concentrate on that instead of the situation that everyone was in. Then after a minute or so, that crisis abated. Everyone calmed down as best they could, and then a third cop car came to take away the injured kids first. So everyone got up, helped the injured kids into the cop car. Me and another boy, we helped up the boy next to me, the one with the wounded knee, and we helped him stand up. And then blood just starts coming out of his wound, just going down his leg. And I'm trying to ignore it. I just help him get into the car. That car drives away. A second cop car comes to get more injured kids in there, takes them away. And then a van came for the rest of us who were left, and we all pile into the back of this van, and I'm one of the last ones in the van. And the van starts driving away, and the van is so crammed full of kids that they can't even close the back, so my feet are sitting there dangling out of the back of the van as we're driving away, and it drives around one or two hills in Clement Park, and then everyone gets out. That's I couldn't really explain why, but we end up splitting up into two groups, and my group, a student's mom was there, and she led my group around, and she said that she was Kevin Haney's mom. I did recognize her because I'd seen her around before, but she said she was Kevin Haney's mom, and so we followed her, and we came over and we ended up at the maintenance center for Clement Park. We had to climb a fence to get over that, so we all climbed the fence over, and we all get inside the building just to take a break for a little bit. And I see in the office there's this TV on, and I'm seeing his ass turn to the news, and I make this remark saying, "Hey, look, we're already on the news," and no one really said anything. It was just kind of like, I don't think anyone was even thinking about the fact that we're on the news. They're just trying to figure out what to do next. And there's already a couple reporters there at this maintenance center, so they interviewed a few kids, and I tried to take the opportunity to go ahead and call home, and the line was busy, and I'm not really someone who curses, but when the phone line came up busy, I did curse, and I slammed down the receiver. And I did try, I think I did try again a few minutes later, and Mom picked up, and I explained, hey, yeah, there's a shooting at the school, but I'm okay. Don't try to come down here because it's really kind of hectic right now. And I talked with mom and I talked with dad and I talked with. I think I'm getting stuff out of order, but anyway, yeah, I can't remember now if I called them at the maintenance center or was the public library later. But anyway, I couldn't get a hold of them at the maintenance center right away, so I slammed the receiver down. And a few of us, we sat outside for a little bit, and I noticed the kid in the red shirt wasn't there, so I wondered where he was. And there's one thing I should point out right now. During my sophomore year of high school, I'd been going through this period where I didn't like to wear my glasses unless I absolutely had to. So it's probably a blessing right now, but suffice to say that while the shooting and everything was going on, I had not been wearing my glasses, so maybe I didn't see everything quite as clear as I could have, which, like I said, is probably a blessing anyway. But after a little bit of everyone just sitting around, of me and a few other boys, we got into another cop car and took us over to the parking lot in Clement Park. And there's some other reporters there, news vans, all of that. And I got interviewed by a couple different people, and then another cop car came and took me over to the Columbine Public Library, which is on the far side of Clement Park. And there's a Red Cross van there already giving out snacks and stuff. And so I grabbed a Dr. Pepper, sipped on that, just walked around, and I think it was at this point that I actually was able to finally call home. And I told mom and dad, yeah, I'm okay. And well, before that, when I got to the public library, I'd actually saw this girl that I recognized from the Trenchcoat Mafia. Her name was Alex Marsh. I recognized her. I squealed a little bit, and I jumped on her back, and she was like, she was happy to see me. She's like, "Oh, thank God you're okay, Amanda." One of the shooters was Dylan. I'm thinking, I don't know that name, Dylan. I don't recognize that name. So when I called home and talked with mom and dad, told them I was okay, I then was able to go ahead and talk with Joe, and I relayed this information saying that Alex had said one of the shooters was some kid named Dylan. That's the term I use, some kid named Dylan, and there's just silence on the other end of the line. Like, he must have recognized the name or something because it was just dead silent after that. And then after that, I called my grandpa's print shop where which grandma and grandpa ran, and a few other relatives worked there as well. So the next thing I did, I called the shop. My Uncle Robbie picked up. I told him, hey, it's me. I'm okay. And then he insisted on getting my Aunt Karen on the line because Aunt Karen was absolutely hysterical apparently, and she wouldn't have believed that I was okay unless she spoke with me. So he got Aunt Karen on the line. I talked with her. I said, yeah, I'm okay. And she's crying, of course. She's like, oh my God, you're okay, Amanda. Like that. And I hung up then, and I was still kind of in a daze. I was walking around the library, sipping my Dr. Pepper, just kind of nudging the tables with my foot, and just being in shock pretty much. And at one point, an officer came up to me to take my witness statement down, and I'm sitting there trying to write down as many details as I can remember since it was still fresh in my mind. And then while I'm writing this witness statement down, Mom and Joe show up, and I look up, and I'm just like, "Hi, Mom," just casual like, and and like I said, Joe was there as well, but he'd made he made a bad choice in wearing his trench coat when he came with Mom to pick me up. So, so the cop let me finish my witness statement. He told me to wrap it up, and then he went ahead and he took Joe away to the police station for questioning. And at that point, Mom took me home, and yeah, she took me home, and then, well, I guess I'm already at my 10-minute limit, aren't I? So I'll go ahead and wrap this up right now. I'll go ahead and get to the rest of the day next week, and if you want me to, I'll go ahead and go into everything that happened after that day as well. So I'll go ahead and get into the rest of what happened on the 20th next week, guys, and I'll end it here, and I'll see you next week. All right, thank you for watching, guys. Bye.